I'm still in the process of processing everything from yesterday, not just the talk in Kidderminster, but the what happened afterwards. Which when I left yesterday, I said I was going to head back down to Oxford, and we had this flash mob Plankathon, and it was just the most surreal experience I think of my life. It went really well. We had probably about 65-ish people doing the plank, or there for the Plankathon, and maybe 100 or so people doing the rock choir, and it was it was kind of weird because I didn't really know exactly how the whole thing was going to work. Richard Venables, the High Sheriff, was there, and he sort of kind of pretty much organised the whole thing, and I just put the word out to people to say that this is happening. But it's really good. There was actually a lot of companies there from Oxfordshire who are taking part in Richard's. One of his initiatives is kind of a corporate challenge, like a workplace well-being, fitnessy type thing, and they're doing things like park run. There's an Ox Olympics, I think, later on this year, and they've been kicking off his tenure of the High Sheriffdom with, I think that's what it's called, with the Plankathon. So this was sort of a celebration of the end of that, and there was loads of them who've been coming down. I hadn't realised that so many people had been doing it from kind of companies around the area, around the county. And I got to meet some of them last night, so that was really good. And I actually got the whole thing filmed, although I was going to live stream it through YouTube and Facebook. In the end, I had to just take a pick, and I went for Facebook. So I did a good Facebook Live. I had actually Richard's daughter, Charlotte, she filmed the whole thing through my account. So what I'm going to try and do is download, pretty sure I can do it, download it from Facebook, and I'll upload it to YouTube. I'm not sure what the quality will be like, but you'll get the gist of what it was. It was fantastic. So yeah, so still kind of processing the whole thing. Normally what I do after I've given a talk, especially at Toastmasters, is in Toastmasters what you do, you give a talk and then everyone has a minute to write down a couple of comments, and then you have a personal evaluator later on in the evening who gives you a proper evaluation for between 2 and 3 minutes. And what I do in that 1 minute after the talk, when I sit down, whilst everyone else is writing notes, I do the same thing. And I write down a couple of things I thought, well, that worked well. This could be improved upon. I'll do this differently next time. And what I want to do, because obviously I haven't got a proper evaluator for this talk, you get feedback. People will say, yeah, really enjoyed it, or well, they generally just say, yes, I enjoyed it. They don't say anything at all. That's been my experience. Or you just don't get booked again. With the lack of an actual evaluator, I'm going to take that role on for myself, and I'm going to sit down tomorrow. I always say that I'm going to do this, and I never do. And this time I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to sit down. Never do, rarely do it. It's unfair to say I never do it. I have done it before, but not to the way I want to do it tomorrow. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to properly evaluate, as far as I can remember, what I did yesterday, and the bits that I thought worked, and the bits that I thought, okay, I needed to work on that a little bit more. There were chunks I'm pretty much sure that I missed out. I think it might even have been a little bit on the long side. I think it was probably close to 45 minutes than 40 minutes. So I don't know how much of a problem that was. The rest of the afternoon flowed well, so I don't think that was a huge deal, but it's still kind of important to me to be on time with talks. So that's my goal for tomorrow. My task for tomorrow is to sit down for an hour and just sort of debrief myself and go through everything. So yeah, properly process it. I was really pleased that I went for the card magic trick. It was a bit of a risk. There were so many other ways I could have framed that and set that up without taking the risk. But on the way down, I spoke to Steele Johnson, my magician friend, who actually introduced me to close-up magic with cards a couple of years ago. I was like, right, I'm going to learn this stuff. I did it for like 10 minutes a day, just practicing for a good few months, and then just fell out of the habit of it. So I really want to kind of get back into it again. I've been doing it a bit for the last couple of weeks, I'd say, 2 or 3 weeks. So I want to get back into that again because I enjoy doing it. I'm fascinated by it, and I do think it's probably something that I could easily weave into some of my other talks as well, in various shapes and forms. So. Not just as a gimmick, because there's nothing else I've got interesting to say. I've got to be kind of careful about that. But yeah, I think it certainly was an interesting talking point yesterday after the session. A few people wanted to know how I did it, but of course I'm never going to reveal how it was. Actually, someone caught a photograph. I'm going to see if I can insert it. Someone caught into this video. Someone caught a photograph of me actually throwing the deck of cards at the board, and the reveal was I threw the deck of cards. I got someone to choose the card. I threw it, said, "This is your card." I won't know, put it back, shuffled it up, threw the deck of cards at the board, and then lifted a sheet of paper up, and there was their card stuck to it. So I've got this picture which I will insert into the video at the end, it's quite a good photograph for me. You can't actually see very much, unfortunately, because the cards haven't scattered or anything, but it's a meaningful photograph for me, so I'm going to stick it in this video anyway. And there we go, that's me for today. And I'll check in again tomorrow with an update on something else. I mentioned it the other day about something interesting that was happening, and it happened really fast. It's another potential client, and it's got to the point where a short conversation with them, kind of getting a good idea of what their brief is, and also Diana from the speaking agency, she's had a conversation with her as well to discuss fees and logistics and everything else. So I will hopefully find out on Monday if that's definitely going ahead, but that's just for a few weeks' time. That's in May as well, during Mental Health Awareness Week. So fingers crossed there could be something else in the pipeline for next month too. Righto, I'll check out now, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another update. Bye for now.